Last Friday, while on Air Force One headed towards another weekend of golfing, Trump said this to reporters when asked about the ACA healthcare subsidies that are expiring under this new CR. We're going to give the money to the people to buy their own healthcare. What's interesting is Trump did add in this interview that right now healthcare companies are making hundreds of millions of dollars off the American people, which is factual. On paper, this sounds great, right? He's calling out corporate greed. He's saying he wants to give power back to the people. If you're MAGA, this sounds awesome. And this was something that he wanted to do back in 2017 when he tried to introduce the Healthcare Freedom Act, but it never passed. What Trump is alluding to is known as an HSA, a healthcare spending account. And what he's proposing to do is to take government funding, dump it into accounts that Americans can use towards healthcare, and they can pick their own insurance plans or have no insurance at all. Statistically speaking, healthy young individuals who live in urban areas will actually benefit from this. And you hear we're giving it back to the people, but what actually you're doing is you're removing the government's involvement in healthcare, which is only actually going to make it more expensive for everybody. Because the removing of these subsidies actually removes the exemptions and regulations that currently exist. HSAs are great for young, healthy, higher income people who have low healthcare costs. But it negatively impacts older people, people who are at risk and not healthy, and people who have pre-existing conditions. Insurance companies are still for profit. If they lose a huge chunk of revenue that the government currently gives them, they're going to turn to at-risk people, people who have pre-existing conditions, or people who desperately need medical insurance. And a reminder that HSAs do not force the individuals to purchase medical insurance plans. They can use it for whatever they want as long as it's related to their health. They could buy a $900 LED facial mask. They could buy a $600 compression table with it if they wanted to. And based off of government stimulus checks that were sent post-COVID, Americans are not going to save their money and put them aside for a rainy day. They're going to buy stupid shit they don't need. If young and healthy Americans start buying at-home spas instead of purchasing insurance plans, who do you think pays the difference? And as a reminder, this bill rips away regulations that require insurance companies to cover people who have at-risk or pre-existing conditions. When asked about this, Dr. Oz, the administrator of the MMA, said that our priority is to make Americans healthier, and one of the things he's doing is trying to drastically reduce the cost of weight loss drugs like Wegovy. We're meant to believe that if Americans can significantly lose weight, that they're going to be healthier. If they're healthier, we don't need to spend as much on healthcare. The reality is, and this is the 5th time that I am saying this year, this administration is simply trying to reduce the number of Americans that it needs to take care of.